Welcome back to Sports Dump, Lewis County's only sports podcast, sponsored by Elam's Home Furnishings and Mattress Gallery, Goebel Septic, and Americool Heating and Cooling. I'm Aaron Vantile, joined by the Chronicle Sports crew, Dylan Wilhelm, Zach Martin, and Kody Kristen. First up, do you guys want to run through the games or look at the grid picks board for week 3? We're going to look at the grid picks board for week 3.
Let's look at the grid picks board for week 3.
Any initial takes from you guys? Everybody did fine, I think.
We all did good.
I'm gaining week by week, making my climb back.
You're 3 weeks in and 3 games back.
You gained no games on Aaron last week.
I gained a game on you.
Yeah, you already ahead of me.
Yeah.
All right.
Another one.
Tumwater, we'll let the overall grid picks results from last week. Dylan went 9-3. He whiffed on Centralia, Morton White Pass, and Chief Leshai over Oakville. Zach had the exact same picks. Kody was 10-2, as was I. Good work, Kody.
Good work.
The only one, we both missed Chief Leshai Oakville. I was correct in the Centralia outcome, and Kody was correct and I was incorrect in the Black Hills outcome. So that was the one outlier that I missed. And then, Ridley went 9-3, and Chad went 7-5, picking the locals as he always does. How are you guys feeling about your good picks? Like where you're at? Think you could do better?
I'm feeling good.
Could be worse.
I feel fine.
I got some ground to keep making up, but I'll get there.
Yeah, we'll see. I think this week is going to really have some different picks between the panelists. It's just going to be good. I'm not tipping anything.
But he's hinting at some stuff.
It's a tease.
I thought they were all pretty obvious. But
Are they, though? I don't know. We'll see.
All but one, I thought.
All right, we'll start with the 2As in the Week 3 roundup, where WF West and Tumwater both impressed. The Bearcats crushed 3A Timberline, and the Chronicles Game of the Week. Sponsored by a home carpet warehouse and cabinets.
For over 2 decades.
Gage Brumfield, another stellar outing, threw for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns, ran for 101 yards and a touchdown. Timberline finished with just 2 total yards, including negative 31 rushing yards. WF West had 383 yards of offense, and Zach was there. Zach, how are the Bearcats?
Very good. Gage Brumfield.
Mr. Unlimited. Yep.
Don't say that. Don't.
Kody, there are days where I just really, really question why you are the way that you are.
Gage Brumfield is good.
He is good. He's a good quarterback.
Some might say Mr. Unlimited.
Oh my God. I was very impressed with freshman Wyatt Hoffman. He got the start at wide receiver for Ross Kelly, who was out for that game. Coach Dan Hills told me that he is expected back this week. Same with offensive lineman Talon Meredith. He's got a torn ACL, but they're going to put a brace on him and just have him go one way for the rest of the year. Particularly, don't know which ACL, but he will be more.
That's not what he was asking you.
Wait, no, offensive.
You said they're going to have him go one way. Is he going to go to the right or to the left?
Stop.
That's a valid question.
Yeah,
Fair enough. Offensive line will be the focus for Talon whenever he comes back, and then Connor Coleman, unfortunately, out for the year. They're hopeful that he'll be ready to go for baseball season in the spring, but he he'll be done for the year. But Wyatt Hoffman got the start for Kelly. Very impressive. Had 2 touchdowns in the first quarter on screenplays, and then took second half snaps at quarterback. So that could be the future for WF West at the quarterback spot. Defense was phenomenal. Timberline's quarterback had no time to throw, and there were no lanes for the ground game at all. It was an all around really great showing. Brumfield and Hill said so post game that it was the best game of the year so far. Now they've got to build on it with I can't remember who they have this week. Shelton, and then they open up the league slate in a couple weeks. So they very well could be unbeaten until week 8 when they face off against Tumwater.
Are you setting them up for like an entire month of trap games there?
Could be.
All right. Meanwhile, Tumwater came out with another win over a 4A team, beating 2023 state semifinalist Eastlake 38-27. Peyton Davis led the balanced ground attack with 70 yards and a score. Cash Short and Tyler Briscoe also had touchdowns, I believe.
Yes. Short had 2. Briscoe had 1.
I swear there was a kid from Wahkiakum named Ty Briscoe, but that would have been like 18 years ago. Maybe it's his dad.
A couple other kids also scored, and I'm only just now realizing that I never put their names, so shout out other Tumwater touchdown scorers from last week.
Okay.
Shout out.
Zach was at that one too. Any quick notes on that, Zach?
Yeah. Eastlake's got a beautiful stadium up in Sammamish. Lighting for photos, fantastic. That was
Must be nice.
That was a very good test for Tumwater. They looked the part of a team that can get back to Husky Stadium. I would say, I think they're, now granted, this is obviously first year here, so I'm not privy to last year, but they seem to be very, very balanced in the run game, and I don't know if that's been the case previously.
That's kind of always been the case.
They've got at least 5 guys that can go off, or they can have 5 guys that have 70 yards each, and they're just going to run up the score. If that's been the case previously, then they're just doing what they've been doing. But Jackson Budd looked very well throwing the ball, 8 of 9 for 121 yards. A lot of the conversions were 3rd and long that he had to go like play action to his right, and then kind of off balance throw to Sonny Nguyen, David Malroy, Briscoe. Just a very good performance. Eastlake hit him on some big plays down the field in the second half to make that score a little bit closer, but Tumwater was in firm control of it for much of the night, and definitely looked the part of a team that can get back to the 2A state championship game.
It's one of the best teams in the state, regardless of classification, in my opinion.
Okay, we round out the 2As with Black Hills, which lost to Montesano 56-7. Terry Jensen's boys just put a hurting on them. Any thoughts there?
No, we didn't hear anything.
Okay.
Nope.
Let's go to the 1As.
Should we skip over Centralia?
Oh, yeah. Well, Centralia's on there. I just missed it. Centralia also had a rough night. They got blasted by Foster 58-7 on homecoming, and Dylan was there.
Yeah, we didn't really miss much if we were to skip over there. Foster's just got a lot of speed, and they really just ran all over the Tigers. There was one point in the game where Centralia was in it. Terrell Sanders hit Hudson Waterfield on this nice play fake, couple of DBs bit, and then, he's wide open downfield, 65 yards. That didn't last long. Just not much going for them. You mentioned you were the only one who picked Foster in grid picks this week, I think, and I think you were also the only one who picked Black Hills. And when you mentioned that was kind of the one spot, and in my head I was like, you were very, very correct on Foster, and you were very, very incorrect on Black Hills, because neither of those two games were particularly close.
That's how you wind up in first. You got to take those gambles.
Should have done my homework on Black Hills and Montesano. Should I make a declaration?
Centralia.
I will not pick against Montesano again. We'll see. As for the 1As, Tenino held off Adna in a 22-19 win. Adna was up 12-0 after a quarter. Tenino scored twice before the break and held on to that lead in the second half. Cody was there for some of it. And Dylan talked to Darren Tinnerstedt afterwards. But I want to hear from Cody first. Cody, how are things out on the old stomping grounds?
Things were good in the first quarter. I was actually pretty surprised that Tenino ended up coming back and winning that game. Not surprised after watching the second quarter, but like you said, first quarter it was 12-0, and Tenino really couldn't get anything going at all offensively. And to me, it just looked like Adna was pretty much handling them. And I guess Tenino found their groove and started to score. And then I know it was a late touchdown in the end that won it for Tenino, right?
I don't think so. That's not what Tinnerstedt said, at least.
No. Never mind.
They scored. Nobody scored in the third. It was 15-12 at half. Nobody scored in the third. Per Tinnerstedt, at least, Tenino scored to make it a 10-point game, and then Adna got within 3 late before Tenino recovered an onside.
Gotcha.
That's what I heard, at least.
Oh, wait, I was thinking at the end of the second half, or the end of the first half.
The end of the first half, there was this double pass.
Yeah, Tenino threw a double pass to, was it Ganya?
I think Ganya threw the pass to...
okay.
I don't remember who he threw it to, but
some receiver. Well,
Yeah.
he absolutely mossed the Adna DB and then just dived into the end zone with like 3 seconds left on the clock. That
Oh,
really,
yeah, you got a good picture of that, didn't you? Or was that a different one? Was that an interception I'm thinking
different
of?
one?
All right.
Yeah, I got a picture of an interception. That photo that you really liked.
Yeah, it was a good photo.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, and then Rochester got in the win column. They beat Aberdeen 33-7. Rochester's rushing attack returned to form, 396 yards. Xander Peterman, Carson Rodder, and Ethan Rodriguez each had over 100. It's pretty good. And defensively, it was often bend but don't break, as the Bobcats had 14 plays inside the 10, but came away scoreless. Is Rochester back, rounding into form?
yeah, I guess you kind of have to say that after a win like that, but I don't know. I want to see him get to league play.
Mm-hmm.
Black Hills will be a good test for them this weekend.
Black Hills will be fun.
Yeah, I agree. Plus, Aberdeen I think it's true. Coaches were saying it, but now I think it's true that they are just really down this year.
Aberdeen may
They
be
lost
cheeks.
a lot of
Whoa.
talent from last year.
Possibly.
That's harsh. All right. So, Aberdeen doesn't look like they're the strongest team in the world or anything. On to the 2Bs. The old helmet game returned in unceremonious fashion. Alaska destroyed Monster Rock 62-8. The old brown jug game, as some of us call it. Loggers ran
There
for
were no old brown jugs. I was also at this game.
I was looking in the picture. I was like, where's that damn jug?
I don't think it exists.
Loggers ran
The
for
helmet might
over-
not exist either because they didn't have it.
Yeah, what?
The helmet did not get brought out.
No. So Maz didn't even bother to bring the helmet out of the coach's office, which is like power move for sure.
It's a power move, but also it's you. You want to see that damn helmet?
Yeah, that's
Is
why
it
I was
real?
there to
Did
take
you lose
pictures of
it?
it. Yeah, I don't think it's real. Even the parents were like, "Where's the
It's
helmet?"
like the softball District 4
I was
trophy.
literally
Nobody
thinking
knows
the
where that
exact
is.
same thing.
Oh yeah.
Each school thought the other team had it.
Likely story. Moving on to the 550 yards
We're
for
in the
Loggers on
2Bs.
the ground, 329 yards and 4 touchdowns for Blaze Underhill. They were at 56-0 at halftime. Easton Kolb had a little success for the Vikings, 171 yards and a rushing touchdown. Ani, was this just kind of what we expected from him?
Yeah. Yes. You mentioned a return to form for Rochester. I think this was a return to form for Ani. This and last week crushing PWV. And then I think it was last week we were kind of comparing Caden Mazingo from last year to Blaze Underhill this year. That's a Mazingo type of game where you just take over, I forgot how many carries it was, but just chunk plays after chunk plays after chunk plays. And there's no love lost there between Ani and Masi. Ani,
Things were still very heated when I got there in the fourth quarter, and it was an absolute blowout.
yeah, they Maz was very pleased with the way the boys came out. He said they were fired up and ready to go, and they have been since they saw it was back on the schedule. And he was very pleased with the performance.
Wanted to keep that old brown jug, man.
Still in his office.
Zach also went to Napavine, where the Tigers won their home opener 55-24 against
Cedar Park Christian.
Cedar Park Christian. Caleb Von Preston ran for 156 yards and a touchdown. Grady Wilson tallied 90 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Kel Kelly had 2 touchdowns. But what impressed you most in this one?
The fact that they were able to get out to a 35-0 lead very quickly. I got there about 10 minutes or 2 minutes into the first quarter, and I parked my car. Carson Denault had a pick, scores, it's called back for a flag, and then I get to the field and Cale Kelly's in the end zone. So a lot transpired in the first 2 minutes of that game. Kelly looked good for the time that he was healthy. He went down with an injury and was unable to put any pressure on his right leg late in the first half. Josh Fay told me that he was evaluated on Monday. So we'll see what his season-long prognosis is. But after that, Napavine just looked flat. Cedar Park Christian hit a couple big passing plays. Now, there was different personnel, some younger guys in the secondary, but Fay is not going to use that as an excuse. Even like after the injury, it looked like a team that had never seen an injured player before. And like Carson Denault got injured last year and they rolled, but this team just looked like the life was sucked out of them. So they were very fortunate to be up as much as they were, because I firmly believe if it was a closer game, it could have went sideways quickly. So they look good. Caleb Von Preston's going to have to handle more of the ball carrier duties on offense, and then they're just going to have to find someone to replace Kelly as a linebacker and kind of be the heart and soul of the defense. So it'll be interesting to see what they do moving forward on both sides of the ball to replace Kelly.
All right. Elsewhere in the 2Bs, Rainier couldn't stop scoring in a win over Morton White Pass. Mountaineers took it 64-34 to improve to 2-1. Rainier ran for 377 yards as a team, including 80 yards or more from Caden Goodman, Dorian Cano, Hunter Howell, and the defense forced 5 turnovers. Rainier, are they good?
I think so.
Okay.
I forgot who they lost to week 1, but I remember leaving week 1 and leaving the pod after week 1 just kind of feeling meh about Rainier. But these last 2 weeks.
They lost to Tenino week 1.
43-7. It was a blowout.
And Tenino's looked better since then. So I guess it's just kind of part of the ebbs and flows, especially earlier in the year when you're trying to figure out who you are. I didn't get a chance to talk to Andy Bartel, but I did talk to Lee Metcalf from Morton, and he was just saying it was just one of those days for the defense, for his defense against a Rainier offense that was just clicking. And, of course, when you turn the ball over 5 times, you're not going to win many games. Cohen Inglesby and Judah Kelly had some success for Morton, but, he kind of just harped on it over and over, just 5 turnovers.
Yeah.
You're just not going to win. That duo is good enough to take Morton to probably a couple wins themselves this season against some lower tier opponents, but combine that with that many mistakes, and Rainier just took advantage and ran away.
All right. Elsewhere, Toledo improved 3-0 with a win over PL Willapa Valley. Carter Swafford ran for 137 yards. Eli Weeks added 74. Zach talked to Mike Christensen after the game. What did he say, and what was the margin of victory there? That was a big one, right?
It was, I want to say 20 points. PWV was up 23-6 after the halfway through the first half, and then Toledo cranked it into gear and ended up winning that game. I can't remember the final. I think it was definitely by double digits.
If Max Preps will load, it was... Hold that thought, Max Preps.
You know what other website might have that result? Cronline.com. 48-29. All right.
So, Toledo was a much better team in the second half. PWV's played well. They just couldn't sustain the physicality that Toledo has, and the athletes. This was the end of the non-league slate for Toledo, and Mike told me that he wanted to challenge his group with this non-league slate of Adna, Goldendale, PWV. He feels like they've accomplished that, and now they head into league play this week, and all eyes are kind of looking ahead a month from now when they meet on Alaska in week 8. That'll be a real test. That'll be, I think, Toledo's first true test of the season. Everything up until this point will be interesting to see how the Riverhawks kind of wake up for these games. So I think that they're good. I have believed from day one that they were going to be good, and they've been making me look smart since week 1 of the year. So.
All right. In the 1Bs, Oakville won its second straight game, 50-14 over Chief Leshai. Gio Rodas threw for almost 400 yards with 4 touchdowns. Daniel Rodas caught 12 passes for 198 yards and 3 of those touchdowns. Ben Kimbrell caught the other one and tallied 210 total yards.
And shout out Athlete of the Week, Drake Luth, with one of the more outrageous defensive stat lines I've seen. 15 total tackles, 5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, and then 5 tackles for loss. 5 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries. An insane stat line.
Can you sing that to me like a Christmas song?
No.
Okay. Anything else on Oakville? They were chirping you guys on Facebook.
Were they? I did not know that.
On the grid picks. Something about,
what did they say?
Maybe
no, I think
they weren't chirping. They were just like, thanks, Chad, for
basically Chad was the only one that picked them. So they were chirping at us.
All right, we'll see how they do in the grid pick board this week. This podcast brought to you by Goebel Septic, providing septic service and sanitation in Thurston, Lewis, Mason, Cowlitz, and Grays Harbor counties. Septic pumping, inspection, and riser installation, commercial septic pumping, grease trap services. You never know when you'll need those. And obviously, they'll rent you a porta potty and a sink to go with it. Visit goebelseptic.com. That's Goebel septic.com. Or call them at 360-736-2167. So we've also got a note on here, predictions for the league slate. Are we talking football still?
Yeah, still talking.
Is it
football.
too early? We're a third of the way through the regular season.
Is that so?
Yeah. I need a big math guy over here.
Goes fast. Yeah.
3 out of 9.
Well, 2B start league slate this week.
Who's going to win the North Division?
I don't know. I don't remember who's. I still don't have memorized who's in what division.
Well, Ilwaco's in the North Division, I remember.
Rainier's in the
Ilwaco
South Division
will.
for some reason.
Because I was outraged.
No, North. Napavine's in the North with Adna.
Napavine will win the North.
And then the South, the heavy hitters are Toledo and Ani.
Okay,
Pretty
so
much.
the 4 teams that are like in the middle of everything are in separate. Yeah,
Correct.
naturally.
Yeah.
I just remember Maz saying, "All right, let's go through the list. Let's start. Imagine like I-5 on a map. All right, we'll start. Rainier's in the South." And I dropped my pen. I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
2A start in next week or 2 weeks. I know for Tumwater
Well,
they
WF
start.
West has Shelton this week, right? So that's
Yeah, but that's
There's still
but
confusion
no,
if that
Shelton's like-
counts because that's a 3A
yeah, Shelton's
school.
3A.
yeah.
I don't know
okay.
how that. I don't know if that counts.
In volleyball, it's going to count.
I don't think in football it counts.
All right, well, we'll say they're starting their league season the next week then.
But 2B start this week.
Any of the leagues have a clear favorite for you guys?
C2BL North.
Napavine?
Napavine.
Okay, C2BL South on Alaska, or is that Ani Toledo?
It's Ani
Ani
Toledo.
Toledo.
Okay, 1Bs?
Nacelle.
Okay.
Sells back.
But
yeah.
Oakville, I think Oakville's gonna make the playoffs.
You think
Certainly
they're
a
going to
lot
make
better
some
than last
noise?
year,
Yeah. I think they're way better this year than they were last year.
1A Evergreen League, you at Montesano, Eatonville? Who's good there?
I said last week I think it's overrated.
I'll back down from my hot. Well, I'm not gonna. I'll stick with it because I have to because it's my hot take from the previews or week 1 or whatever it was. I'll give Monty the benefit of the doubt. I think my hot take was that Rochester will beat them. And I'll stick by that. But as of now, I don't exactly feel great about it.
I think Tenino still wins the league.
Okay, bold takes. Let's go to, and then Tumwater WFS, is that just going to come down to week 8?
Yes.
Okay.
And Tumwater will win.
Okay, hot take. Going to be after you.
I also was about to say I'd give Tumwater the edge now, but obviously it'll come to the head-to-head.
I
think WF West will win.
Wow. Good take, Cody. To volleyball. We'll do a brief recap from the area since last week. WF West went 1-1. They swept Hudson's Bay. Tumwater lost for the first time against 3A Olympia. Centralia picked up a victory over 1A Elma in 4 sets. Rochester is 0-7, still looking for that first win. Tenino lost in 3 sets to C2BL teams Onalaska and Mossy Rock. 1A Evergreen League play opens this week. This is where we'll start our questioning. Who finishes higher between Rochester and Tenino?
I'd say Tenino.
Have
Probably.
they won anything?
They have. They beat WF West, I want to say, too.
They beat
I think
WF
that was
West in
WF
5
West.
sets.
Okay. Well, I would also go with Tenino then.
I think Rochester they've got to find a way to get it together. I mean, they have played most 2As in this non-league, so I think they'll play better against the 1As. I still will say Tenino because I think I think they've both been challenged in the non-league against really good 2As and C2BL teams. But I'll go with Tenino. But I think Rochester will start picking up a couple wins here and there.
All right. The C2BL remains mostly the same. Adna still perfect at 5-0. Have they played anybody good?
Well, if you
They
read
went,
down-
well, depends. This doesn't count toward WIA records, but they went to a tournament in Freeman, beat some Idaho teams. They went to a tournament, or they played Manson and Brewster, and I honestly can't remember if they won those games. I guess those count toward their record if they're official games. So, yeah, they won both of those. So, yes, sorry. That was an extremely long-winded way of saying, yes, they played good teams.
Onalaska and Rainier are both 4-1. Mossy Rock, Napavine, and Tuda Lake are all 3-1. Out of those 6 teams, Adna's still a favorite?
until proven otherwise.
They
And then
play.
who's your runner-up? Rainier?
I want to see. I haven't seen Toodle yet,
Okay.
so I'll hold off. Toodle does play Adna on Thursday. I know they lost a couple girls from last year, but I know Toodle's typically up there as well.
Okay. That is Thursday. Is that in Toodle or Adna?
As an Adna,
Okay. Are you going?
I am.
Cool. You also saw Toledo sweep Winlock on Monday. Any
Yes.
quick thoughts on that?
Just two young teams, kind of at different stages of development. Obviously, development isn't always linear, but if you were to put it on kind of like this line of like, a scale of 1 to 5, Toledo's kind of in that, that range where it's, they have some pieces, and when they string it together, they look good, they look consistent. And I guess Winlock's kind of at that stage too. It's just much less consistent that you see those flashes. They did beat Elma last week. They swept them. So this is a team that'll win a couple games. It's just a lot of young girls with a new coach. They're switching things up from last year. Lost a bunch of seniors, and yeah, it'll just take some time.
All right, moving on to soccer now for some quick hitters. Dylan saw Tenino twice last week. First, they beat Onalaska, and then they lost to WF West in the Schultz Bowl.
Yeah, tail 2 games. They beat Ani 5-0. I think Mickelson had a hat trick. Callie Mickelson had a hat trick. That's becoming pretty common. They shut down Kaya Sandridge, who had another hat trick yesterday against Forks. But the WF West was just kind of the opposite. The Beavers or the Bearcats, kind of just dominated possession early and got a couple goals. And, Montgomery kind of said this. The second goal in a 1-0 game is really big just from a mental point. Because, when you give up one, it's just like, whatever. It's one, chalk it up. And then if you can get that second one to tie it, obviously that changes everything. But once it became 2-0 and the Bearcats had all the momentum, they kind of just ran with that. So, yeah, just kind of a tale of 2 games. They did beat Elma. No, they didn't beat Elma. They beat yesterday. They beat somebody yesterday 4-0. I don't even remember, to be honest. But they do play Montesano and Elma to start league play, which are, from what I've heard, typically 2 good teams in their league. And he was just kind of saying, obviously, we're going to have to step it up, even from that Ani game and their win yesterday if they're going to compete with Montesano and Elma.
All right. You also saw the Centralia offense get rolling in a 3-0 win over Rochester. Olivia Groginski had a hat trick. How's Centralia looking?
Better. Luis Magana kind of said that after. He's like, it's nice to see some goals, Obviously, I'd wish it'd be spread out a little more, but he'll never complain with a hat trick from Groginski. Yeah, that's what he was hoping for going into that game at Rochester. He was hoping they had only scored 1 goal in the 3 games prior to that, and it was a late one when they were down 2-0 in their 3rd game. So just trying to build on that. Nothing too crazy.
All right. Zach was at Rochester. Well, you saw Rochester beat Toledo. How was that?
It was a good game. This was before they played Centralia. So they're coming. They were. That was actually their first win of the. That was their first one of the year against Toledo. Defense has kind of been the one area where Matt Ashton has been, wanting to see a little bit more, and and that happened against Toledo. Clean sheet. Second half, Toledo was pressing, bringing more forwards and or having more attackers up, and Rochester brought 9, having 8-9 in the back. So just a good game by Rochester, and Toledo. They've only got 1 senior on the roster, so they should be good moving forward as well.
All right, and the other game on the list was Onalaska beat Forks 7-1 after losing to Tenino.
Yeah, that was yesterday. We got already touched on that.
All right, this podcast is brought to you by Elam's Home Furnishings and Sleep Center, located at 1530 South Gold Street in Centralia. Available online at elamshf.com. All kinds of good stuff on there. Everything you need to outfit your living room, bedroom, dining room, entertainment center. Get some accents, some fancy little pillows for your couch, your love seat.
Too many pillows.
Beautiful desks for your office, your home office.
I drove by it a couple days ago.
Yeah, we were like, damn, I wish I had some furniture.
Do they have podcasting room equipment?
They got a desk that would look nice to set up this podcast equipment on, yeah.
I'm
something from Whittier Wood Furniture, one of their brands.
I'm moving on. I'm getting, I want to have a quest where there's where I see all of our sponsors from News Dump and Sports Dump. I've only seen 2 of them, 2 of the 6, Roof Doctor and Elam's.
Americool Heating and Cooling, you see their trucks out everywhere.
Yeah,
I saw like 3 of them today.
Yeah, but I haven't seen the building. I want to
I couldn't tell you where the building is, honestly.
No, I want to find. No, it's a quest.
99.
Cody. It's a quest. I want to find it myself.
Right.
It's a quest.
Right.
Okay, well,
I will report back.
I could use a new new dining room table, but
Oh, do we have
when
the
you
place
move in
for
with
you?
a female, this isn't new. I've lived with my now wife for a while. How many pillows do we need? Like, why are there so many pillows, and why can I not use 90% of them?
Dylan, this is a sports podcast.
I'm just venting. There's going to be like 2 people right now that are going to be like, yeah, he's right. Why do we need so many pillows?
I'm sure there'll be more than 2.
That's all I need.
They will keep coming.
All right. Yeah. Well, you know what? Pose that. If you have a comment, email. What's the sports email account?
sports@cronline.com.
Email sports@cronline.com and tell them about pillows. Your pillow thoughts.
Who scored?
Pillow talk. Email your pillow talk to Dylan and Zach.
Pillow talk with Elam.
Quick recap on some other sports. In golf, WF West won the Sibley Scramble. Was that up at Alderbrook?
It was up in Shelton.
They had a nice, strong team performance. And then Zach has a couple highlights from some cross country.
Yeah. Madison Ingram won the bronze varsity race up in, I'm blanking on it right now.
Stillicum.
Yeah. She beat Tumwater's Alexander Broom, I think he's pronounced the last name, Broom or Brom. I'm not sure how you pronounce the last name, so my bad. She ran well. Trayton Marty for Toledo boys finished 3rd in the varsity bronze race on the boys' side. And then Rainier's Zach Hamilton finished top 6 in the bronze race. So a good overall showing by some area individuals. Rainier girls still look good. They had 5 in the top 25, so they are going. Once we get into like team meets, they're going to be formidable, and they should be for this entire year. So they'll probably be our best girls team, and I keep saying that, and they keep showing it.
Okay, this podcast also brought to you by Americool Heating and Air Conditioning. Your comfort is their business. They offer full-service HVAC installation services and repair with a 100% satisfaction guarantee on everything they do. You can visit west.americool online to request service or get an estimate. Or if you're having a too hot or too cold emergency, give them a call at 360-669-8378, and maybe they can help you out.
Hey, Zach, do you think if you called Americool like to where you are, do you think they would let you ride back with them so you could see the building?
Maybe not.
Excuse me, sir. Now that you're here, it is a comfortable 68, but I have a Quest.
What if you got in with them and then you put the podcast on, like the radio?
Oh my God.
But you were also talking over it, so there's just like you arguing with yourself. How many miles do you think it would be before they just pulled off at a rest stop and were like, get out?
5. Over under 5. I'm taking over under 5.5. I'm taking the under.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, it's time for grid picks for week 4. We'll do grid picks and then we'll talk about the game of the week. All right. I haven't finished putting my grid picks in. I've got most of them on here.
I'm doing them live on this podcast.
Okay, so first up, Shelton at WF West. So far, everybody has WF West. Zach?
WF West.
All right. Centralia at Tenino.
Tenino.
Everybody's going Tenino. And, okay, I also went Tenino. Black Hills at Rochester. Kody has gone Rochester on this one. I think I'm leaning towards Rochester as well.
Boy, this is a difficult one for me because I believe in Jackson Beck against. Oh boy.
Pick Black Hills then, buddy.
Yeah, take Black Hills.
I think I'm going to go Black Hills.
I've got Rochester.
I think I'm going Black Hills.
I
think Rochester will handle Black Hills, honestly.
Handle.
Mm-hmm.
Hot take.
The physicality,
hot takes, I guess.
Physicality difference kind of worries me.
Just a photographer.
But I think I'll just lean back here.
All right, Nooksack Valley at Tumwater.
Tumwater.
Yeah, everybody else has gone Tumwater. Onalaska at Rainier.
Onalaska. I bet Rainier keeps it close for a quarter, and then Ani's going to roll.
I bet not.
All right, Winlock at Mossy Rock.
Rock.
Everybody's gone Mossy Rock here.
Mossy Rock.
All right. Raymond South Bend at Adna.
This is a game
Adna.
where I'm not sure because
this is a must-win for the boys.
it's a must-win.
This is a must.
A must-win. We're in week 4.
They just
What
won
division?
tonight.
They need to
Oh,
win.
yeah.
It's a must-win.
Against the P2BLT.
Are you putting Cochran on the hot seat?
Yeah, like Josh Fay was.
Coach for his job.
Yeah.
See, Raymond South Bend has looked. They kept it close with Mossy. Rainier beat them by 11. So Adna kept it close with Tenino, and they did not keep it close with Toledo. I think Tenino is a good 1A. I think Toledo's one of the best teams in 2B. I trust Luke Mahoney. I trust Gavin Muller. Give me Adna.
Mahoney.
Okay.
Same thing.
Mahoney?
Mahoney.
Go look at little Mahoney.
All right. Tudor Lake at Toledo.
Toledo.
Did Tudor Lake just beat Owaco?
They beat
They beat Winlock.
Ilwaco
They beat
them,
Winlock.
I'm pretty
And
sure.
then, yeah, I think they beat Owaco?
I thought Ilwaco won that game.
Yeah, it was like relatively close though. All right, Morton White Pass at Ilwaco.
I took Ilwaco, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you did take
Did.
Ilwaco. I
gotta
took
go
Morton White
two.
It's
Pass.
like Morton White Pass.
You got to go to Ilwaco.
I'm gonna play down there at the beach.
It's a long
See,
trip.
I'm curious to see how.
Actually, Ilwaco's not. It's close to the beach, but it's more like on the river.
I'm
the
curious to
heavy,
see how.
heavy beach air,
Yeah.
ocean air.
I'm curious to see how MWP is going to respond after kind of getting their butts handed to them against Rainier. Give me MWP.
Okay.
Iguodala.
Oakville North River at Wahkiakum. Now, folks, I must remind you, contractually,
Oh, hell.
Contractually.
Wahkiakum, tough place to play.
Oh, he said the thing. Let's
go. Wahkiakum
Allegedly.
is are they 0-3?
Wakaikum's
I don't know.
0-3,
0-3?
but they have played.
0-3.
They have played Nacelle, Nia Bay, and they played a 2B team. Skylar emailed me.
So it's probably an 11-man game. Then.
It was an 11-man game. Hold on. Give me one quick second because Skylar emailed me the stats and thoughts from that game. They lost Ilwaco. So they have played Nia Bay, Nacelle, and Ilwaco this season, and they're 0-3.
Okay, yeah, they lost 78-24 to Nia Bay. They lost 72-6 to Nacelle, and they lost 28-20 to Ilwaco in what we think was an 11-man game.
Yeah.
I'd assume because Mossy played up a game last year when they were 1B and it was 11-man.
Okay, and Oakville is, what's Oakville, 2-1?
2-1. 2-1. Their lone losses week 1 to... Can't even remember.
There's too many games. I don't remember.
Week 1, Oakville lost to Ocosta.
That's right.
I think I'm going to take Wahkiakum.
It's a tough place to play.
It is indeed Cathlamet, tough place to play. You've also got some salt air wafting in there too.
Ocean air
Kinda.
there too.
That river air anyway.
Makes the grass heavy and thick, harder running.
Yeah, people are always talking. Did you guys play in Wahkiakum?
I played there a couple times, yeah.
Was it sick?
It's a super nice field. One of my
See
favorite
the-
fields to play on.
It's a cool spot, yeah.
They got the old stadium that's just like on the ground. It's not raised
Did you
at
come
all.
out of there with a win, or did you come out there?
Come out of there, always came out of there with wins. Every sport.
Because Coach always reminded you beforehand. Johnson was like, "Hey, it's a tough place to play."
Something along
I
those
feel like
lines.
he
Locked in.
might have been the one that started that.
He
Like,
probably is.
It's a tough place to play, but Oakville North River is a tough.
I
opponent to
I
play.
feel like you're appropriating our culture by saying that.
I don't.
By saying what?
Zach's saying Wahkiakum's a tough place to play.
Have you ever been to Wahkiakum before?
No, I don't
It's
know.
The city is
Neither have
actually
I.
Cathlamet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys, we can talk once you've been down to Cathlamet, all right?
Once you've driven through,
Yeah. Beautiful
the,
little
the
town.
wildlife refuge and everything to get out there, you know.
Voyage,
Can I finish
voyage
what
down
I-
the river like Lewis and Clark did.
Yeah.
Can
how
I
you get
finish
out
what I
there.
was going to say?
Yeah,
I guess.
fine.
Wahkiakum or
I'll allow it.
playing against Wahkiakum in Wahkiakum might be a tough place to play. But Oakville North River is a tough team.
Tough
to play.
team.
Give me the Acorns by
me-
double digits.
Give him the corns by double digits, baby. Let's go corns.
All right, Napavine at Montesano. Cody's taking Napavine. Dylan's taking Napavine. Zach, where are you going here?
Oh boy, I am just concerned that the second half against Cedar Park Christian might come back.
Zach lost a lot of Napavine stock
See,
on that
here's the
second
thing,
half.
because they just looked so flat.
Like shorting Napavine now.
No,
right?
I'm not. No, I'm
you
not
think
shorting.
Josh
Never
Fay
win
is just
another
going to
game.
allow
I'm,
that?
I'm not shorting Napavine. I'm giving Cale Kelly his flowers because of the emotional leader he is, and it just like you could like I was on the Napa Vine side of the field. You could just feel the energy just evaporate.
He's not dead.
I understand that he's not dead.
I also think like in the moment, I
be at the game.
understand high school kids like kind of getting deflated, but like if you give them a full week to kind of deal with, whatever
I
they're feeling.
think Napa Vine wins, but I think it's going to be.
Well, that's what we asked you.
Yes, I think Napa Vine wins, but I think it's going to be competitive.
That's all you had to say.
Okay.
If Napa Vine loses, it wouldn't be shocking, but I would be shocked if it's their. I think it's the last loss until at least the Final Four.
I think I would be kind of shocked if Napa Vine lost this one.
All right. Zach, you taking Napa Vine or Montesano?
Napa Vine.
Okay. I'm going to zag.
You gonna take Monty?
I think Napa
He's
Vine's-
been hinting at it this whole
He
time.
has been.
They just hung 50 on Black Hills, a 2A team. Not a good 2A team.
I think that was their first
also-
win.
That was their
I
first
think they were
win.
1-2.
Yeah.
Yeah, their other two,
Too late.
Richfield?
Center
Too late. You already
and
punched it
Richfield
in.
and
was it
Center.
Richfield?
Yeah,
Richfield.
like those
2A.
are two quality 2A teams.
Is LaCenter 2A? I thought they were 1A.
I think the center's.
The center
I
might
don't
be
know.
one. I think
Hudson's
I
Listener-
think
Bay.
LaCenter's 1A.
Hudson's Bay was a quality 2A team, and you saw what Napa Vine did to them.
I don't know. Faye
Were
told,
they a quality 2A team?
I think so.
Faye told me they should have won that. He thought they'd win that game by at least 4 scores.
Oh, well,
So
One Napa Vine, I don't know if he was a coach or some kind of assistant. Somebody on the sideline against Life Christian said that Life Christian was their toughest test of the year.
Interesting. Tougher than Montesano,
So
huh?
that's how he feels. I'm not sure if that's how everybody on that staff feels or on the team feels, but
Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm going to look like a fool for this. I probably will.
that's a
It's
great
in
pick, Aaron.
Montesano.
you got some
know what?
cushion.
it's all right.
Oh,
at
you
the
know what?
top.
I
Is it
got
a tough place to play?
Montesano?
Yeah,
It's the toughest. Their
played there
stadium
too.
burned down and they
I
won the
know.
state championship over it.
I know. It's awesome.
I
People
never
forget that.
I never confirmed this,
I
but
never forget that.
I
Never
hopped
forget
on.
the stadium.
I hopped on the scrimmage pod, and like as soon as a couple weeks ago, and as soon as I hopped off, I still had their like stream up in the background, and someone commented that one of their I can't remember his names, one of their better players was allegedly out for the year.
Oh, interesting.
Montesano.
If that is true, that could explain the slow start.
Too late
but
to
I'm
change
not
your pick,
100%.
Aaron.
No, I'll stick with my look. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm
He's
just
got a cushion up
look.
top.
I want to make
That's
grid
fair.
picks entertaining for everybody. It's not entertaining when everybody
For the
just has
pod.
the same pick. This is a
Is it-
fun one. Yes,
We-
I'm making
Showman.
this pick because I don't believe in Napa Vine. I think they're going to go over 7 the rest of the year. They'll never win another game.
Is Josh Fay's job secure again?
Yeah, no, absolutely
He's
not.
going to be an excellent analyst on this podcast.
It's fun to joke about Josh Fay. Like, isn't he the athletic director too?
Yes.
He's got to
And
like
head softball
he's got to
coach.
go into a desk and like sit on both sides of it.
and an
like,
assistant basketball
and
coach.
assistant basketball coach.
They're like, no, Napa Vine's going to be fine. I just,
A
you know what? I'm zigging on this one.
double state champion coach.
Yeah. All right. Well, actually, he's won 3 state championships.
Wow.
Lake Roosevelt at PL Valley. Lake Roosevelt's 0-3. PL Valley's 1-2, 2-1.
1 and 2, I think.
2.
But they're solid.
1 and 2, yeah, because they lost to Ani and
Yeah.
Toledo.
They looked good against Ani for 2.5 quarters before Ani pulled away. And
They
then-
looked good against Toledo for a quarter and a half before. So progress. We're talking about progress here. Sometimes progress is not linear. In this case,
Why don't
it
you
is.
progress your way into a pick?
Whoa!
PL Valley?
PWV.
Okay, fine. When are Ridley's picks coming in?
I'll text her.
Okay.
Last week when me and Ridley were tied, she told me she's going to pick every pick that I pick for the rest of the year just to piss me off. So we're tied no matter what.
That's such a see. That's
She
why
did
I.
it.
That's why
She
I
did
I'm
it.
was-
assuming she's kidding.
She's kidding, yeah. I think.
We've got we got a couple that could go either way on this one.
always rely on Chad to zig when the others zag.
Yeah, that's true. We've got 1, 2, 3 games that aren't unanimous. 3 between the 4 of us. So that's good. All right, and now it's time for the big announcement. Oh wait, we're
That
not
was
actually
announced
announcing.
yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, did you guys already pick who it is?
No,
We
just
don't
the
know. We don't
finalists.
pick, Aaron. The people pick.
Yeah, the
Oh,
people.
sure.
pick.
We're
Yeah.
announcing the candidates.
The candidates
it's
for
democracy
Game of
out
the
here.
Week. The Cron primary is over. The Cron caucus has been completed. And we have candidates. Game of the Week.
Sponsored by Home Carpet Warehouse and Cabinets and the Farm Store.
Our games. Black Hills at Rochester. Winlock at Mossy Rock. Oakville, North River, at Wakaika.
Stop.
Oh, that's definitely not right. Hold on.
It's RSB at
Yes, please hold.
He said it. He said it. We're going to Wakaika. Both of you need to go down to Cathlamet. Learn you something about
the
football.
mules in just live in my head. Not even rent free. I enjoy.
So is the Oakville Wakaika game is not a potential
No, that is
game?
not a candidate.
You cowards.
They're scared. It's a tough place to cover a
Only
game.
do local home
Yeah,
games.
they are scared.
And we have to mix it up every once in a while.
What's the sad button, Cody?
I don't know. Guess. Yeah.
There we go. You guessed right. He had
Which
a
one's
1
the-
in 8 shot.
Which one's the applause? That's the one I tried to hit. But, sorry,
This
guys.
is what happens when I throw the notes together last minute.
All right.
We just need to label our damn
It's
buttons.
RSB Adna's the third game.
Okay.
Yes.
What stops if you hit it again? I didn't know that.
You're supposed to be the host.
You could always cut off the Mr. on the
I'm going to start cutting it off.
Maybe I could just make it say just Mister.
Nope.
Mister.
Yes, I can.
All right. So again, the games: Black Hills at Rochester, Winlock at Mossy Rock, Ream at South Bend at Adna. Where can someone go? How can you vote?
You can go to the Chronicle Sports on Instagram
And like the
comment,
comments.
not comment which one you want. And if you comment a different game, it's not going to win, guys. It's not doing anything for your cause.
What if you comment a game that's already listed among the nominees? Does that do anything for you?
No.
Good.
Because we clearly state in the caption of the post that you
So
like
this
the
is
follow
kind
the
of, when you
rule.
do that, it's like you get your ballot in the mail, and instead of filling it out, you just write like one person's name on it, and then fold it into a paper airplane and throw it at the auditor's
That's
office.
exactly what's happening.
Yeah, okay.
It does not get counted at all. Or a write-in vote, which I guess
How are we feeling
still
about-
counts, but it's not going to happen.
How do we feel about the integrity of these particular elections?
These
Is
elections,
it secure?
These are very secure. You can, I mean, it's public information, Aaron. You can go and tally all the
Yeah.
numbers throughout the votes.
All
you
it
can always
takes
go
is
look.
one ASB like parent group, and that can sway it pretty. But that's people are voting.
The post hits a Facebook group and
Yeah, that's true.
These
voter numbers
elections are not
off the
rigged.
charts. Nope. You can. It's public info.
You can go count the votes. Yeah.
Yeah. We think about it from time to time, but
I don't know. I've seen some irregularities. I'm not sure I trust your
how so?
security of these.
I don't
Are you
think
claiming
there's-
voter fraud?
There's going to be a couple weeks where I don't even think that we're going to put it up. Like some other WFS might not even get put up to a vote.
Sorry, guys. Who
Well,
else?
what if
Who
you
else
do?
plays
Well,
that game?
because
Instead,
the other two games that week are Toledo Ani and then Rochester at Tenino.
Ooh.
Oh shoot!
Yeah,
I have
that's
to.
true.
Yeah,
You
no,
got
it
scattered
should
week.
be up for
That's-
a vote.
Maybe not. All
But
right, never mind.
but
That's a
Swamp
crazy
Cup,
slate.
Swamp Cup the previous week that might not be put up to a vote
But
because it's Swamp Cup.
but guys,
I don't even know
Swamp
what the
Cup isn't going to be a good game.
You know what? It's still the rivalry game.
Yeah, I
it's one of
guess.
those things.
It's like Nap Vine Adna.
They better actually bring the trophy this time, unlike the helmet, the old jug.
They always
Didn't
bring
come out.
the trophy. to,
Trophy last year,
the Swamp
yeah.
Cup game.
Yeah, the Swamp Man.
There was a period where somebody was concerned that we had lost the Centralia helmet that goes with it.
it is still in,
Nobody's seen it for
still
a
in
few
the
years.
office.
in the
It's still
office.
around.
Yep.
It's still here. Don't
We
worry.
use it as I use it as a hammer.
Don't do that.
It's going to go back one day.
So again, the games: Black Hills, Rochester, Winlock, Mossy Rock, Green, South Bend, at Adna. You can vote on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook until 6:30 a.m. on Friday.
Oh, we moved
Are
it
one
up.
of you guys monitoring all these at exactly 6:30 and then cutting them off?
Dylan.
I'll be up.
Sports editor.
I'll be
Sports
I
up.
did
editor
not
Dylan.
know that.
Okay, so
That
here's
was the Dylan wakes up
here's
at
why because I
5.
posted it late because I had some stuff at home to take care of, and so I posted it late this morning. So to keep it to 3 days, which has been since we started this, voting closed at 6:30 on Friday morning. I will be awake, and I will tally the final votes to determine our game of the week.
What if there's like some Oakville kids that are, voting for theirs at, noon on Thursday, and they're like, "Stop the steal! The vote's over. It's
Too
done.
bad.
There's no more time."
Too bad.
It will stay open until 6:30 on Friday.
It will stay open until 6:30, bright and early on Friday morning.
What if Adna Athletic Director Luke Salmi calls you and is like, "Dylan, I need you to find me another 200 votes." So we
I don't have that kind of pull here. I don't have that kind of pull anywhere. I can get you maybe like 6, but
All right.
Dylan, Dylan
in a-
known
in a
voter
pinch.
fraud.
I have a very
Pro
small
voter
circle
fraud.
of friends.
Dylan pro voter fraud confirmed.
All right. This has been fun. What games are you guys covering? I guess you don't know what games you're covering on Friday because the Game of the week is still up for grabs.
Sponsored by Home Carpet Warehouse and Cabinets and the Farm Store.
Just quit mashing buttons. I'm turning it off.
I didn't know you could play multiple at once.
One of us will be at. This thing's off the rails. One of us will probably be at Black Hills, Rochester. I would imagine the other one of us will be at. You're gonna press another button.
It's not gonna do anything. I turned it off.
One of us will probably.
Child locked me.
You're pressing Aaron's buttons now.
He child locked me off the button.
As he should.
Damn it.
Yes, he should. Yeah, thank God. It's silent. One of us will be at Black Hills, Rochester. The other one will be at Winlock, Mossy, and then we'll have photographers at a couple different games. Cody,
and we are open to going to Adna if Adna is indeed our game of the week, sponsored by Home Carpet Warehouse and Cabinets and the Farm Store.
Okay,
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Can't turn them back on. I want to hit them all at once.
No.
The people want to hear what it sounds like.
Cody, no.
All at once.
That's all we have for this
Turn them
week's
back on.
podcast.
Aaron. No, it's not.
Don't forget to vote for the
Boo.
Game of the Week.
Wait.
All right, we'll see you guys.